Hey guys, coming to you live from my office / craft room again. You see a piece behind me that is, it's actually just 2 canvases put together with some flowers glued on. I'm going to hang it up somewhere in my house. I'm just trying to decide if I want to put it in my bedroom or my living room. So first off, how are you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. Some of you have sent me some emails and you're starting it out with, sorry to bother you, but. So I just wanted to address that really quick. You are not bothering me, okay? This coronavirus thing is really weird. It's so different. It's so weird. But I'm like working from home right now, and I know a lot of you know that I like to sleep in and stuff. Please send me any email. Okay, if you got a new puppy, like Judas out there, okay, she got a new puppy. If you want to send me a picture of your puppy, that's fine, okay? If you want to tell me what's been going on with you, that's great. If you want to ask me a question about your work, it's fine. You're not bothering me. You're not bothering me at all. I know at school I'm usually like, so busy. I'm not busy. I mean, I'm kind of busy, you know, getting your stuff together and grading and stuff. But seriously, ask me a question. I'm your teacher. That's what I'm here for. If you have a question or if you just want to tell me something, as long as it's school appropriate, of course, please go ahead and do that. Okay, so on to the lesson here. All right, we're going to be working on cause and effect, alliteration, and point of view. Again, some of you are probably thinking I'm a crazy person for reviewing this for you, but this is what would have went on our final exam review that we're probably not even going to ever take now. Which, had I known, I probably would have prepared something different for you guys. That's okay. Okay, so first off, cause and effect, the first page here. It says, writers often use signal words to show that a cause or an effect is about to be given. A cause is the reason why something happens, of course, and causes usually come after words like because. So, because the coronavirus is a world pandemic, we aren't going to school right now. Since, when, as a result of, and the effect of, due to, and the effect is what happens because of the cause. So what they're asking you to do here is read a sentence and then write the cause and the effect. So on the first one here, the sentence says, Amanda missed the bus and was late for school. So when we write the cause, we're going to say, you know, what happened here? Amanda missed the bus. And then we're going to write the effect. She was late for school, okay? So Amanda missed the bus, therefore she was late for school. On the next one here, it says, Vance worked hard on his homework and made an A. Okay, so the cause here is that Vance worked hard. Vance earned an A on his homework. Okay, lightning struck a tree and the tree started to burn. Lightning struck a tree is the cause and the effect is the tree started to burn. Daisy did extra chores around the house and earned extra money to buy a new purse. So the cause here is that Daisy did extra chores at home, and the effect is that she earned money and bought a new purse. If I were to ask you, if we're going back to 1984, just for example, I would say, what made Winston at the end, okay, when he met Julia in the park, I could say, why did Winston ignore Julia? And we know that it was because he was tortured by O'Brien in the Ministry of Love, or the Mini Love. So you could say, to phrase that in the cause and effect like sentence, because Winston was tortured by O'Brien, he gave up all human emotion and therefore did not love Julia anymore. Just for example. So on the test, on the final exam, it would be asking you to like read a selection and then do the cause and effect for it. Again, I don't even know if we're going to be able to see that final exam. Okay, alliteration. Okay, this one's kind of a fun one, used often in poetry, but not always just poetry. And this is your Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, okay? Because all those P's, that is what an alliteration is when we're looking at a bunch of consonants in a sentence that's all the same thing, and it's all puh. So the slithery little snake went to eat a snack by the shore of the ocean. There we have two alliterations, okay? So in the first part here, you've got a list of words, and I'm asking you to write an adjective for each word. And if you forgot what an adjective is, basically that's just a descriptive word. So I'm a teacher. So you might say for an adjective word that Miss Puckett is a terrible teacher. Terrible being the adjective. I hope that you guys don't think that, but that would be an adjective word. And that's alliterative because it's t. Okay. I'm also a female, and you could say that I was a tomboy female, but that's not alliterative. So you might want to say that I am a fine female or a fat female. Okay. So we've got dog here. We can put any word there. How about dirty? Dirty dog. Okay. Number 2 is picture. So we have to have a descriptive word for a picture. Well, it could be a perfect picture. It could be a pretty picture. It could be a perfect picture. Did I say that one already? Pretty picture? I don't know. Okay. Bicycle. So we're looking for a B. Okay. I put beautiful bicycle, but it could be a blue bicycle because that's an alliterative phrase. It could be a berry colored bicycle. The next one is lamp. So what is a descriptive word that starts with L, because lamp starts with L, that we could put in here? What about a luxurious lamp? Okay. What about a lavish lamp? Like if you were a rich person. Okay, and then number 5 is tree. Now, I put a tall tree. You could put a terrible tree, like if it was creepy looking, like from old times. All right, part 2 on that second page of the activity, they want you to take a normal sentence and put in as much alliteration as you can. I'm leaving these other 5 to you in that activity 1. So question 1 says, the playful cat went after the ball. Now I want you to see how many alliterations I put in here. We can't change the word ball because it's underlined. Okay, listen to this. The fat, friendly, fun, that's 3 F's, kitty cat played peacefully with the big blue ball. Okay, so we've got multiple alliterations here. We have 3 F's, okay, and then we've got kitty cat, but oh, hold on here, hold on. That's a K and that's a C. Does it still count? Yes, it does, okay? Even though they are different letters, different consonants, they still sound the same, so it's still considered alliteration because k, kitty, and k, cat sounds the same, okay? Then we've got a couple of P's with played peacefully, and then we've got big blue ball, so we've got 3 B's. All right, I'm going to skip number 2, leave that one to your own devices, but I'm going to go ahead and do number 3 with you. Okay, so the question says, the dancer bowed to the audience. Now, the word that we're not allowed to change is dancer because it's underlined. So here's what I put. The dashing dancer daintily and beautifully bowed to the audacious audience. So again, we've got multiple alliteration here, which is perfectly fine. So the dashing dancer daintily, we've got 3 D's. That's our first alliterative consonant here. And then we've got beautifully bowed, 2 B's, another alliteration, and the audacious audience. We've got 2 of the A's sounds there. Okay. This one right here is asking you to underline whatever the alliterative word is. So in the first sentence, it says, please put your pen and paper away. So for this one, we're going to want to underline the P's. Please put your pen and paper away, okay? Because P is our alliterative letter. Number 2, I had to hurry home. I had to hurry home. We're underlining the H's. Number 3, come and close your closet. C's, come, close, closet. Now, if we look at number 4, this is one of those dual alliterative consonant sounds. Because remember, it's all about the sounds. At the top of this paper, alliteration is a stylistic device in which a number of words having the same consonant sound, how they sound when you say it out loud, occur close together. This one is number 4, a classic, I think that we're all aware with. She sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, so we've got 2 here. The sh with she and shells and shore, that's one. But then we've also got the s sound with sells, see, and then see again, okay? Now, if you would have put in here, she sells seashells by the city seashore with a C, that would still count as the S sound because it sounds like city, sea. Even though it starts with a C, it still sounds the same. I have kind of written in my own example. I'm going to leave number 5 through 12 to you, but I want to go over 13 because I wrote that in to kind of reiterate that to you. It says, my sassy sister was being sour about driving to Cincinnati because she was sleepy. So it's that S sound. So we've got a sassy sister, and she was sour. She was in a bad mood. So we've got the S sound there, and then sleepy. But see, we've also got Cincinnati. Even though it starts with a C, it sounds like an S, so it counts. All right, and then the last page here, the reason why I did not do too much with this is because we have gone over point of view so many times this year, and we have gone over it with, you know, as you were a freshman, you know, we looked at the point of view in like Great Gatsby. Of course, that's first person point of view because it's from Nick's point of view only. But like if you look at The Crucible, even though it's a play, it's third person because it's from the outside. But just to reiterate some of those definitions for you. All right, it says point of view is the angle of considering things, which allows us the opinion or the feelings of the individuals involved in a situation. In literature, point of view is the mode of narration that the author employs to let readers hear or see what is taking place in the story, poem, or an essay. Point of view is a reflection of the opinion of an individual from real life or fiction can have. Okay, so first person point of view, you know it's always going to be first person if we're using I and we. Like I said, Nick narrating Great Gatsby, he says I, it's from his point of view, so it's limited. We only get what Nick sees, but he is a trusted narrator to a certain extent, so we can kind of go with it. So an example here is, I felt like I was getting drowned with shame and disgrace. Okay, that's an I. Again, Nick. Because the book is solely from his point of view. All right, second person point of view uses you. Okay, sometimes you cannot clearly discern between anger and frustration. You is the least used point of view because it feels very personal. Like, ooh, are you talking to me? It almost feels like, is he calling me out or is she calling me out? We don't necessarily like that. But what you will find it a lot in is speeches. So for example, probably one of the most famous speeches in the world would be JFK, quote from a speech, I mean, when JFK asks not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. We feel like he's talking to us specifically. And it makes it a little bit more, it kind of emerges ourselves into the speech. Because, you know, I mentioned Gatsby. We are looking through one person's eyes, but we're not there. We're not in the 1920s. But if I say, your due date is this, oh, okay, I'm responsible for that. That's me. That's putting me into it. Okay, and then third person point of view uses the pronouns like he, she, it, they, or the name of someone else. So for example, Mrs. Stewart is a principled man. He acts by the book and never lets you deceive him easily. So third person point of view is knowing kind of what's going on all around. So I'm trying to think of something that you would have all read or seen. Actually, a lot of movies are third person point of view because we see a lot of different characters, situations. We see conversations. So for example, in the movie Titanic, even though our main character is Jack and Rose, we still see private conversations that are happening that doesn't involve these characters. We see private conversations that are happening in the first class, in the third class, in the second class. We see private conversations that are happening between the captain and J. Bruce Ismay, the president of the ship line. So that would be like a third person point of view when we can kind of see it all. And then below, I'm just asking you to read the sentence and tell me what point of view that is. So I'm going to do the first three with you. So the sentence is, I am going to tell you an exciting story. Well, of course, because we're using I, it has to be first person point of view. Okay, number 2, you are very good at basketball. You, second point of view. And then, of course, this one, they are going to the mall to do some Christmas shopping. Because we're using they, it's third person. Okay? Again, about submitting. Several of you guys have been submitting work, and you're doing awesome. As I have said, and I've said to you all year, my juniors and seniors are just boss this year. They're awesome sauce, and I love you guys. I miss you guys like insanity. I was not ready for it to be summer yet. This crazy coronavirus. That's alliteration, crazy coronavirus. But yes, if you want to submit it, you can do it multiple ways. If you are a writer, you can take a picture, send it to me. Or you can type out the answers on a Google Doc and share it with me. You do not have to type the questions. I have the questions right here in front of me. That's just creating extra work for yourself. Don't feel like you have to do that. You just have to type the answers out for me. Let's see if I was going to say anything else. I think that's it. All right. Have a good one.